Hey guys, what is up? It is Day. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about why I don't do hookups anymore, guys. I haven't been doing it for 2 years now about. It was a long story, so I'm gonna kind of dive into it to explain why and what's my reasoning behind it. So, when I started to learn the law of attraction sort of things, I dove into sexual energy. So, and transferring of sexual energy. So, to explain that, sexual energy is when you like the energy you have, whether it's happy, sad, like you're in the basis of a happy, sad mental state, you have a lot of drama going on or whatever, you have that energy, right? And you're going to transmit that to the person that you're having sex with and vice versa. And it can fuck with you because you can take on their energies because of the intimate thing. So you can dive deep into that and you can be like, wow, that sounds a little too crazy for me, like a little too out there. Or not. Totally fine. But you can say like the people around you are the people that most affect you. And I believe that at least you're being affected by other people's energies, whether it's transmitted sexually or not, right? So I kind of decided I wasn't going to do that because when you have hookups with people, you actually don't know the person. And that could be detrimental just in general, mentally and in your life. So I started doing that, and I actually went 10 months in between two different relationships, which I've literally never done that in my life. Because obviously I'm just 22, so everyone's out here like hooking up my age, but I'm not doing that. And I felt so good, and I'm gonna tell you what I felt. If you're spiritually into this or not, this was my experience. So you started to only worry about yourself. And I feel like that's so important, to be selfish. You weren't actually looking for another partner constantly and another thing and another, I don't know, like not worried about another person and their problems. And just in that basis, I think it helps someone that's wanting to grow personally and mentally within themselves. When it comes to transferring sexual energies, obviously that I felt so good. 10 months without touching anybody. I didn't even kiss anybody, guys, which was crazy. I don't know if you don't have to go to that extent, right? You could probably kiss people or make out with them, but I didn't do any of that. And there was a point where I felt so good that when I started my new relationship, I was like, I don't think I even want to anymore. I think that's when it comes to like you're just kind of like doing your own thing and in your own zone. You're kind of just like, I'm so comfortable doing this and being selfish and on my own path that I don't even want this to be fucked up. And then of course it kind of did get fucked up, right? Because it wasn't the greatest relationship that I went into. But you start to feel comfortable with it and actually enjoy it because you look at men differently. At least I did. I looked at men differently. Like if they weren't stimulating me at all mentally, bye. Like I'm not talking to you. You could be hot, you could be anything, but and I think that's a whole other topic where it was like, if you don't have a brain in there, I could care less about money or anything. Like I'm not talking to you anymore. That was when so to get back on topic, that was when I was starting to do meditations and everything. So for me, and if you're starting to get into that, it felt so amazing and I felt really released. Meditating and focusing on self-growth and not having sex at all instead of having sex and partying. I think it's just an add-on to spirituality if that's something that you want to be into. But I just because of my experience, it's such a good experience that I had last time. I thoroughly enjoy it. Oh, and something else that you guys probably want to know. So in the book, one of the books that I recommended in my last video, I talk about you know, like making room. Or one of the books, they talk about making room. I didn't talk about that. They talk about making room in your life if you want something. And I watched the Steve Harvey clip of him talking about he got rid of an old car. He wanted a new car for the long time. Basically, this is a brief statement of this. He wanted a new car for the longest time, but he had an old car in the driveway. And they're like, you need to get rid of the car. So he finally got rid of the car, and a new car popped up unexpectedly in his life. Like, man, he manifested it. And I thought, man, that's kind of, I think that's kind of where I feel in my life relationship wise, because if I'm having sex and hookups with all these random people, or like ex-boyfriends, or I'm still hung up on ex-boyfriends, or talking to, you know, whoever, and I'm not really filtering who comes in, am I making room for the person that's actually meant to be in my life? And I think the answer to that is no. And if I were to having like random hookups and a fling or a friends with benefits, I think I'm pushing away the actual person that should be in my life at that moment, or should be coming into my life. I'm not letting it in at all. And I took that really seriously. And I just kind of thought, wow, maybe that kind of applies to sex and relationships. So I stopped, and I think, and I've done it in other things in my life, just that law of attraction practice, and it works. It absolutely works. So that's kind of why I don't do it anymore. I'm young, so probably not a lot of people my age would want to do that. But for older people, I vibe a lot with older people because of just my maturity. But that is something that I learned that I actually value. I'm like, I don't even want random hookups anymore. I'd rather be alone and actually making room for the person that's going to benefit me emotionally and physically. But that is kind of it. I just kind of wanted to explain my updates on, you know, sex life and what I do. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you later. Bye.